Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to explain about the origin of anxiety in the computer age. Well, as we can tell, uh, the humans in the modern times are more anxious, are more nervous than ever before. Funny enough, even during the world wars, the stress levels were not as high as they are right now. And the question is, what is leading to this emotional and lack of control among people and their relationship with each other and their idea of well-being. What is going on? So basically, to answer the question, we got to look at the past. Before the Industrial Revolution, before the 20th century, people had no cars, they rode on horses, and they walked a lot. And they spent a lot of time in under the sun outside working um, manual labor, like without the use of so much technology. If you go even more back in time, you're going to see that people, because there were not technology, they had to walk long distances or run. There was a lot of physical activity. Even if your job was as a merchant in a town, you you were physically active in the city, you interacted more with people, and you sold your products. If you worked in the farmlands, you were always uh, under the sun, exposed to the air, uh, working in the field, a hard physical labor. And the consequence of that is that before the Industrial Revolution, before the 20th century, humanity was not very sedentary. We walked a lot more, we practiced physical exercise, we had to communicate face to face much more than today because there were no radios, computers, television, so we had to communicate in person or through newspaper, but that's a little different. For several centuries and millennia, humans lived in the open for the most part, and wars were common. You're in your town or city state, and then all of a sudden you would be attacked by a neighbor nation, and then you have to fighting battle, even though life was more of a threat at that time, stress levels were lower. So what's the deal here? If there were greater threats in the past, why were stress levels lower in the past? And why is it that everyone today is completely stressed out? I have to say that what is causing the high levels of anxiety and stress in the modern world is lack of physical activity, lack of physical contact between people. We no longer interact as well as we used to. We no longer have to spend too long outside, and we're adapting to indoor environments. Because if you think about it, in the past, people lived. Today, some people cannot stay 5 minutes in the open, outdoors, and they have allergic reactions and they develop asthma. The people from the Middle Ages were perfectly fine. They could breathe perfectly fine. They could handle the cold. They could handle the heat. But we cannot handle anything. Yeah, so basically, the 20th century brought us indoors. Our organism, our human body is adapting to indoor environments. So we're becoming more and more fragile. Anything stresses out a person nowadays. Uh, there's no physical activity at the level that it used to be. In fact, the only people who are physically more fit are athletes or people who exercise in a gym. But in the past, anyone had an athletic body. Anyone. Because life required people to be physically well. Today, less and less people are more qualified because I even suspect that even these people that stay in gym or we see running in the streets, even them are not completely adapted to a harsh physical activity. Because the only time that we see them exercise is when they're running or when they're in the gym. They're not actually doing that because they have to. They're doing that because it's healthy. I myself, before recording this video, I just finished running 2 miles. Doesn't look like, right? But my sweat has dried out. But what I'm trying to say is that I don't have to walk 2 miles to purchase my bread or or go to work. I can always drive my car. But why did I just walk 2 miles or run 2 miles? It's because um, I want to have a healthier life. So this is not good. Technology has put us stressed out because we're not putting the energy out. We're keeping all the energy in. And this is leading to problems in the organism, such as diabetes, high cholesterol levels. And to make matters worse, fast food is horrible. So we're not exercising as much, we're not interacting socially as much. Seriously, the social interactions nowadays is completely awkward. People can no longer handle a smile. They freak out. So it's really weird what is going on. People stress levels are the highest that they have ever been. So I expect that the advanced civilization in the future will realize that this form of life is wrong. Humans were hunting and gathering in Africa for thousands and thousands of years. We belonged to caves, we belonged to trees, we belonged to the open, to the outdoor. And now we have to stay in one room for 24 hours. And our work is an office with air conditioning. In other words, we're no longer interacting with each other and we're not interacting with the natural world. One day, I tried to lay down on the grass over my front yard. After 2 minutes, I totally quit because ants were killing me, biting me all over. So I'm like, man, how did the people in the past did it? And I can't anymore. Well, I have to say that human beings in the past were much, much more used to that stuff. So that's a problem. We're not we're losing, we're not as healthy as we used to. Plus the fact that this is also changing our physical appearance. Uh, People look in the past more physically healthier and perfect. Today, the situation is the exact opposite. We're losing our healthy appearance. We're losing our connection to the natural world. We're losing our connection to each other. So the 20th century and all this technological revolution is bringing a lot of issues with with our well-being. So if we really want to live in an advanced civilization that knows everything that there is to know, we should be aware of the needs of a healthy person. And that is no fast food, that is living a healthy diet and practicing physical exercise as much as you can in order to have the quality of life we used to have in the past. People in the past had a lower life expectancy. I take that back. Yeah, they did. But for other reasons. Today, we have a longer life expectancy, but the quality of our life, the quality of our organism is not as good. So this is definitely something that needs to be um, that needs to be thought about and needs to be solved in the future so that we can live in a very technological advanced civilization who cares for our well-being and who is ideal for our well-being. Thanks for watching.